Hey guys, welcome back, and today I'll be giving you the post-race review of the Mexican Grand Prix. To start off, here's some shocking news. Lando Norris has overtaken Oscar Piastri in the driver's standings, and he currently sits at the top with 357 points, whilst Oscar sits second with 356 points, meaning only 1 point separate the two McLarens going into Brazil. Now this is interesting because Lando's only had 6 wins, whilst Oscar Piastri has only had 7 wins. However, Lando has had more podiums than Oscar, because Lando has had 16 podiums, whilst Oscar has had 14 podiums. And he retakes the lead for the Drivers' Championship from 189 days, which is ever since the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. He had been overtaken, and it's just been dominated by Oscar Piastri up until this point. Now, if Lando can keep up this good streak of potential wins, then he has a chance of winning the Drivers' Championship. But not only winning it for the first time in his career, but then it's also going to be the first time if Oscar wins it as well. But then you better not forget the third contender, Max Verstappen. Here's the thing, Max Verstappen has 321 points, and if you do the math, 357 minus 321, that gives you 36 points. But since we are going into Brazil, which is a sprint weekend, you can gain a maximum of 33 points. So, going into the sprint weekend would mean that Max would have to be first in both the race and sprint, if that happens, because you know what happened last season. And not only if that happens, not only if it's the race and sprint, he would need both McLarens, and I repeat, both McLarens, to be outside the top 8/10, because in the sprint you get points if you're in the top 8, however in the race you get points if you're in the top 10. So Max would need a perfect season, literally perfect, meaning can't get second at all. He needs both McLaren to be outside the top 10/8, whilst he also needs a couple of DNFs, like what happened in Austin, Texas, in the sprint race. And if that does happen, then Max will win his 5th Drivers' Championship in a row, starting from 2020 up till now, if that happens. But not only that, Ollie Berman, who's 13th in the Drivers' Championship as of right now, got 4th, which in his maiden season, which maiden meaning first, he had gotten Haas to 4th, meaning he had gotten Haas 10 points, 12 points, but it shows that Haas have come a long way, especially because Ollie Berman's previous best was either 10th or 9th. Now if Ollie Berman can keep this up, then he would have a chance at getting Haas, and not only Haas, but him into a good position, setting up for next season, where both drivers, both Berman and Ocon, could have a really good season in 2026, and if they do have a good season, then they would have to make sure that they have the right car, right strategies, and all that. But you better not forget what happened at turn 1. So what happened was, we had first corner, which was clockwise, so it was turning right. Yeah, so it was clockwise, and then to change it to clockwise corner, and then anti-clockwise, and then it goes back to clockwise. And if you saw what happened at the start, it was a four-way, which is bad, especially because the track is, well, it's not as narrow as Monaco, but it's narrow enough for just 4 drivers to go through. But Max was on the outside and got cut and had to go out because George Russell, Lewis Hamilton was on the inside. Not only that, we had Verstappen go off, we had a RB go off, and I think a Williams driver went off as well. While that was also happening, we had Leclerc and Hamilton, meaning, because what they did at the first corner, which was very narrow, they had turned, but Leclerc was on the inside, whilst Hamilton was on the outside. But Leclerc wasn't given enough space by Hamilton, in my opinion, and I feel like Hamilton should have given that position and then fought for that position during the race. But guess how many drivers went out of the race? Four drivers went out of the race. Yes, 4. Liam Lawson, Fernando Alonso, Nico Hulkenberg, and someone else, but I forgot. Yeah. Not only did those 2 go out of the race, but for Fernando Alonso, that was his first just normal retirement for him in an actual race. Now Carlos Sainz, he had exceeded so many penalties that he needed to do a drive-through penalty, which is where, if you get too many penalties that you had been given, you have to go into the pit. You cannot pit at all, and you just have to drive through the pit lane at the pit lane limit without pitting and just going straight through, meaning you lose a couple of positions, especially if you're in a very tight traffic jam. Now, if Sainz had not gotten that penalty, he probably would have done better than he already did. Not only would he have done better, but I feel like Carlos, Hamilton, and other drivers that got penalties should have played it safe, done their penalties a lot sooner, so then they can get the undercut, and then they can overtake their team rivals. And not only is it important that they don't lose any points during the championship, the more points you get in the championship, the more money you earn. Well, the more money the team earns, and the more money the team earns, the better the performance of the car can be, and the better the performance of the car, the better chances you have at being a championship winning driver. Well, that concludes my Mexican Grand Prix post-race review. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in Interlagos, which happens from the 7th through to the 9th of November.